Alright, so obviously I've been kind of out of the loop of Geometry Dash for a little bit, and I know this is kind of old news, but I figured I would give my opinion on this now because I think a lot of my points regarding this situation are kind of overarching to the entire community as a whole. So recently, and I say recently, it was like a month ago, Dolphy, the verifier of the legendary Extreme Demon Tartarus, which reigned as top one for almost 2 years, was banned from the demon list and had supposedly confessed to hacking the verification of Tartarus. Now, this isn't a very new notion. Back when he had verified Tartarus, there was a lot of scrutiny upon his completion. For, I believe, a few months after his verification, the demon list had him do several private streams, several progress videos, and just other miscellaneous acts like that to prove that he did not cheat the completion. And it was found that he did not hack Tartarus. Tartarus was found to be a completely legitimately verified level, and that's the story we've gone with to this day, as of a month ago. But when Dolphy was banned off the demon list, he had supposedly confessed to hacking Tartarus, hacking the verification of Tartarus, and the implications of that are just kind of huge. Not only would that mean that at that point we would have had 3 hacked top ones in a row, Zodiac, Tartarus, and Slaughterhouse, but that also just would have meant that one of the second longest reigning top 1 Extreme Demon behind Tidal Wave would have been hacked, and that's just kind of an insane notion. Like, the impact of that, obviously, in the rear view is not that big looking back, because Tartarus now is just like, it's just seen as like, it's Tartarus. It used to be top 1 for a while, but that doesn't change the impact it would have had on the game then. But I digress. But it's worth noting that allegedly, one of the main reasons that he was banned off the demon list is because of his situation involving minors. He was exposed, and this is, I'm pretty sure, I haven't found a bunch of like 100% evidence, so take this with a grain of salt, but I'm almost positive that the reason he was banned off the demon list is because of his relations with minors. And that, like, his relations with minors is a 100% confirmed thing. Dolphy, as an adult, did send inappropriate material to people under the age of 18. Now, obviously, that's not accounting for Dolphy lives in Russia, so this situation isn't accounting for maybe some of Russia's different laws, but the point is, he sent inappropriate content to people he knew to be underage. And obviously, we cannot have that in the community. There have been several situations regarding that type of people and content in the past, and I feel like we've done pretty well with doing away with them. Krazen, just another GD player, and most recently FNM04. I say recently, that was like 8 months ago, but I digress. And so, allegedly, that's one of the biggest reasons he was banned off the demon list. Not allegedly that things happened. The things did happen, but apparently that's why he got banned and not the Tartarus confession initially. But the Tartarus confession was a more driving force. Now, you may be wondering, earlier I said that my points about this are more overarching to the community, so why so? Well, I feel like this whole situation proves a very massive point of we can never take anything players themselves say at face value as 100% fact. If Dolphy says he hacked Tartarus, that doesn't mean he hacked Tartarus. Like, sure, people are going to say, oh, well, the person that's doing it confessed to hacking. That totally means they were hacking. Not necessarily. I'm going to use 2 examples here. So, back in 2016, whenever Cyclic confessed to hacking Sonic Wave and the Hell Zone, he also confessed to hacking every single one of his completions, like ever, in the history, in his time as a top player in the Geometry Dash community. But when the demon list moderators had checked with modern proof standards of his old videos, they found no proof of anything. So, this one example goes to show that people under immense amounts of pressure are just going to lie and say they hacked everything. So, I mean, my running theory is, and I feel this is pretty plausible. I mean, I don't feel like there's much you can say to disprove this, especially with what I'm going to bring up later, but we'll get to that. Dolphy sees himself getting exposed to all these terrible things, sees his demon list rank being taken away, he's banned off everything, and he's like, you know what, might as well add fuel to the fire, I hacked Tartarus. But again, that doesn't mean he did. Just because he wanted to add fuel to the fire and say he did it, doesn't mean that it happened. Now, you might be asking me, why can I say that with such certainty? Well, here we go. Space UK, 2023, April 2023. exposed for hacking every single achievement he ever hacked. And the big thing here is there was video proof. Like, proof in all of his completions that he hacked everything. Not once in the almost 6 years since Tartarus has been verified has there been like 100% concrete evidence of hacks in the video. And you might be saying, well, back then proof standards in 2020, 2021 were different. You can't try and tell me that after they found out about new cheating methods like with Space UK and further hackers down the line, that they wouldn't have gone back and checked the Tartarus video. You would think that if there was concrete evidence of Dolphy hacking Tartarus 6 years ago with methods that are, by today's standards, relatively primitive, he would have been caught by now, don't you think? Like, it doesn't make sense to say that, oh, because he hacked it, or because he says he hacked it, that means he did, when there's zero proof. Are you trying to tell me that Dolphy created hacking methods so 6 years ahead of his time that nobody is catching them to this day? Like, that's just not a plausible argument. You can't sit here and try to argue the fact that because there's no concrete evidence of hacks in the video, that he just had cheating methods so far ahead of his time. Like, that's just not a plausible argument. That's what everybody thought was Space UK, but then his methods were proved very quickly after he confessed to everything. And this even was a very common argument during Space UK's exposal. A lot of his continued supporters were like, oh, there's not proof of it. There's not proof in any of the recordings. But there was when we found the Z-bot method, when we found the method of catching Z-bot. Everything within like a month, everything he had confessed to was proven to be hacked. Dolphy, around a month ago, confessed to hacking Tartarus. And assuming that the level would then be put under heavier scrutiny since, the last maybe 2 years it hadn't been because everyone just thought, nothing had happened. Like, you can't just sit here and tell me that they wouldn't have gone back and looked at it. And if to this day, they still have not proven it, again, over half a decade later, like, there's just nothing there. You can't try and say, you can't take his word at face value. And that's just, I feel, one of the biggest problems in the community, is we are so indecisive about what we take at face value. Going back to, I think, 2018, 2019 maybe, when, I forget who it was, so I'm not going to try to act like I know who it was. There was a top player who claimed to have verified Ren event, which at the time would have been top 1, off recording. And, of course, we can't take that at face value. Okay, you can't say, I verified Ren event. Do you have a video? No. Okay, so you didn't do it. Great. We can agree on that. But the moment somebody comes out and says that they hacked something, we are all so quick to be like, yep, okay, you hacked it. And yeah, in most scenarios, the person who did it and is now confessing to hacking, of course they're going to be telling the truth, because at that point they have nothing to lose. But those people are often very soon after confirmed to have hacked everything. And I will reiterate this for the 1000th time, Dolphy, for the last 6 years, has been proved of nothing. Nothing about his Tartarus verification 6 years later has been found to be hacked. And I feel like just the massive indecisiveness about face value claims is one of the biggest things plaguing the community. We are so indecisive about what we want to take at face value and what we don't. We are so quick to take the negative things at face value and the positive things at no. And obviously, I'm not saying take every single verification at face value. Yes, things like that need to be taken with scrutiny. But so does hacking. I guarantee you everybody that was affected by Dolphy's confession is not going to want to immediately believe that he hacked it. So why are you going to immediately believe that he hacked it? You don't know all the facts. And even if you don't, the facts that we have had for the last, again, half a decade prove that he didn't hack anything. So, I know this video just sounds like one big defending Dolphy rant, and that's kind of what it is in all honesty. I'm not defending his actions regarding his grooming and his actions towards minors, but I am defending his Tartarus verification. Tartarus verification is something I look back on very fondly. Given my time in the community, I've been in and around for over 11 years at this point, and I didn't want to believe Dolphy. I didn't want to believe the accusations whenever I heard them. I didn't want to believe the hacking accusations. My computer's turned off. Hold I didn't want to believe any of it. So that's why I'm making this video, to not only defend Dolphy, because I don't think that he hacked it, and there's no proof that he did still, but also just to give my thoughts on what I believe for a long time has been one of the community's biggest issues, and that is our indecisiveness about taking everything at face value. This isn't a call to action. This isn't me saying change everything. This isn't me saying Dolphy is absorbed of all guilt of everything ever. This is me using this situation as a way to show everybody, or at least everybody watching this video, that this is a problem, regardless. Regardless of the situation, regardless of the player, regardless of the level in question. We just need to do better as a community. And that's about it. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. I know it's a situation that has blown over in like a month. It's about a month old at this point, but regardless, I still feel it's really relevant, because I feel like the points that I've made are relevant to the community as a whole, not just Dolphy. Especially because in the month that it's happened, still no proof of him hacking it, but I've beat that point into the ground at this point. But that's about all I have for today. I just wanted to hop on here and give my thoughts about it. And yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you later.